This video comes to the heart of creating harmonious and peaceful relationship with people around us, especially with family members, colleagues at work, business partners, and every other person that are important in our life. You see, if you look around you, it is not difficult to realize that we live in a very angry world. A world that is continuously polarized. We are polarized economically, socially, and religiously. There seems to be a perpetual reason to continuously hate people, to see people, me versus them. And in this video, we want to talk about how do we connect with people in an angry world. Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Ridwan and I am an assistant professor of communication and media sciences. And in this video, I'll be giving you some tips of how to be intentional in connecting with people in a polarized world. Let's start with the reason why we are disconnected with people. You see, in communication, we like to say that the cross of any communication, any type of communication, is mainly to connect. So we communicate to connect with people, to manage relationship. But nowadays, it is increasingly impossible to connect with people, especially because we live in an era of digital and social media. Social media is engineered in a way that only connects you with people and content that already agree with you. And if you are comfortable with this, that increases your tendency of having what we call confirmation bias. That is, every time you are only seeking for something that agree with your school of thought and you are moving away, blocking out everything that disagree with you. And that does not help. It does not help your psychological development. It will not help your promotional and professional development as well. So the question is it possible to connect with those that disagree with us? Is it possible to maintain relationship, peaceful and positive relationship with those that have different opinion, different ideas, different from what we believe in? The number one thing that you want to remember is always separate personality from ideology. You see, ideologies are meant to differ, but personalities, especially human beings behind those ideologies, are always the same. So when somebody believes in something, no matter how shallow or how dumb you think the idea is, it does not mean that the person behind the idea is dumb. So ideas can always be right and can always be wrong. It does not always have everything to do with the persons that believe in the idea. The number 2 point of how to connect with people in an angry world or in a polarized world is to reduce the attempt to villainize. You see, many of us, when we don't like an idea, we tend to stereotype and then we label and then we marginalize those that believe in that idea. So what we do is that we tend to be psychologically lazy to assign any form of cognitive complexity to those that do not believe in the same way we believe. So we think for them to have believed in a way, they must be stupid or they must not be wise or they are not educated. But in reality, people might not be educated and still be experienced in a particular subject matter. So the tendency of you thinking that, of course, because they are not educated, so you are not assigning any smartness or any seriousness to their opinion. So sometimes people say, how can I be talking to somebody that never go to school? The reality is that sometimes people might never been in a formal school and still be smart and be wise or be experienced in a particular subject matter. Number 3 is that you should dare to listen with an educated mind. So if somebody have a different opinion with your own, you should be able to listen to them with an educated mind. So let's ask ourselves, what is an educated mind? Many times we believe going to a university or having a degree or a certificate from a formal learning system is what makes us educated, while in reality, an educated person is the one who can entertain people's opinion without necessarily agreeing with that opinion. So an educated person have that psychological security and maturity to listen to people and not necessarily agree with it. So you don't want to treat opinion like a disease, which if you listen to it, you are automatically contacted. So develop your mind to have enough security to listen to people, hear them out, which does not necessarily mean that you agree with them. You are just listening to them and appreciating their school of thought. And the number 4 point of how to connect in an angry world is to understand the reason why they believe what they believe. So if somebody you know know, or somebody you relate with, or somebody you meet at work have a different opinion with you, to be able to respect them and not disconnected with them, you have to pay attention to why does this person have this opinion? Where do they develop this point of view? Because every idea and every belief always have emotion behind them. There's always community and history behind every opinion. So if you listen to people's emotion, then you'll be able to respect them, because at the end of the day, every one of us are driven by our emotions. We are emotional people. So listen to people's emotion and know that when you are criticizing their opinion, you are most likely hurting their feelings. So when you pay attention to their emotion, you will be able to respect them regardless of if you agree or disagree with what they are saying. Number two is the community. You see, our ideas and our beliefs are sometimes our ticket to be part of a group. So you want to be a member of a group, you are expected to believe, or to maintain the belief of that group. Every belief always have community behind them. So living that belief might mean to be an outsider of that community. So if you understand that people have a community behind them and they rely on this community for social capital, social support, social insurance, and what have you, you'll be able to respect why they hold the belief so much to heart, because of the benefit that comes with believing in that idea. So when you understand that, you'll be able to be patient and not be frustrated with that person that disagree with you, because you remember that even yourself, you have a community that's supporting you behind what you believe. You have a ground you are standing on, and so do they. Changing their mind, meaning that you are taking away the support. So it's not easy to change people's opinion, especially opinion that have a strong community behind it. And when you understand that, you will respect and be patient with people. Number three is history. Beliefs comes with history. Some of us believe what we believe today because it's something that our parents believe in our culture, and all of this make us have strong attachment to our belief. So when there's this strong historical attachment to a belief, it is not easy to cut away from. So when you understand that, it makes you respect the people behind that ideology, and then it allows you to be patient with whosoever you want to connect with. And finally is to always aim for the common ground. When you are connecting with people, it does not mean that you have to agree with everything 100%. So you can agree on a problem and disagree on the solution, or you can even agree on a problem, agree on the solution, but disagree on the method to achieve the solution. So always focus on what you agree on and pay less attention to what you disagree on. Understand that at the end of the day, we are all human beings and we all want the same thing out of life. We all want to be happy. We all want peace. We all want connection. We want stability. And all of these things make us connect as human beings. And our approach towards achieving all these human goals might be different, but at the end of the day, we are all looking for the same thing out of life. So you want to be patient with people and focus on our similarities, because we all have so much in common that we have in difference. So I am going to recap on how to connect with people in an angry world. Number one is that you always want to separate ideas from persons. Number two is that you want to reduce the attempt to villainize people. Don't always look down on people. Don't think because they are not educated or because they cannot speak a language that you speak, and then they can't be wise like yourself. Okay, because when you do that, you don't want to pay serious attention to what they are saying, because you already believe they are not smart. So whatever they say definitely will not be smart. Number three, we said you want to listen to people with an educated mind. So we said an educated person is someone who is able to entertain and listen to people without necessarily agreeing with them. And this goes back to having the psychological security and the maturity to listen to people and to entertain people's opinion without expecting yourself to believe what they are saying. You listen to them just to appreciate their school of thought. And number four is to understand why they believe it. And we mentioned that because we are human beings, we are always driven by our emotions. So there's always emotions behind what people believe in. There's always a community behind what people believe in. And there's always history. So if you understand these three background of belief, then you'll be able to respect people and not be frustrated in order to understand each other and connect with each other. And finally, it's always look for the common ground. And the easiest common ground is that see them as human beings, because human beings, we have a lot in common. And that would be it, guys. Kindly click on the subscribe button, comment and like this video, and also share with others that you think this might be beneficial to. See you in our next one.